So, race 21 of the meeting, race 217 in the Euro Trophy Pantheon of history. DD2 Masters goes into battle. Race 21, DD2 Masters heat number 3. It has been a pretty good day for Christoph Adams at the moment, having taken pole position and then couple that up with 2 race wins so far. Slavomir Moransky from 46 team will line up alongside the Belgian on the front row. Row 2, it will be RS Competitions Michael Becker from Germany, and then France's Bruno Dos Santos in the 503. Tom Dessert will start from 5th, as the GKS Lemons Power driver will have alongside PKS Competitions Rudy Champion from France. Karl Kleeboort from Belgium from Bouvin Power will have Sebastian Rumpelhardt from Germany under the RS Competition stable alongside on row 4. Rounding out the top 10, it is Germany's Thomas Schumacher in the 531 with Bart Koeman from Belgium in the 516 alongside completing the top 10. The last 4 drivers rounding up the grid, 14 in total, will be Daniel Yildiz from Germany, Jonathan de Brouwer from France, Konrad Bayer from Germany, and last, but by certainly no means least, Rinaldo Gremiger from Switzerland. One final formation lap. One final 10-minute race plus an additional lap. As tomorrow we start the action at 10 o'clock local time here at Karting Genk. As we now wait for these drivers who now seem to be keeping us waiting a bit longer than anticipated, but I'm sure that the wait will well be worth it. So Adams, Moransky, Becker, Dos Santos, Dessert, Champion, Kleeboort, Rumpelhardt, Schumacher and Koeman. That is your top 10. They now come through into turn 12, and it is down to both Adams and Moransky to control the pace. For one more time, we wait for the Rotax roar to scream into action, as tomorrow will see us get finals day well and truly up and away. The revs rise, the accelerators are pressed down. We go lights down and racing. Moransky goes off instantly to try and cover off Michael Becker, but Becker sends it up the inside into turn 2. Dessert up to P4 already from 5th on the grid. Is up the inside. Oh, well, Sebastian Rumpelhardt trying to get a bit racy and gets past, I think, Karl Kleeboort and also Bruno Dos Santos in one fell swoop. And that was through into turn number 4. But Tom Dessert now has a chance, and he's trying to go toe-to-toe with the inaugural DD2 Masters champion, and that is Slavomir Moransky. Tried to go up the inside through turn 7. As now Michael Becker trying to get one up on Christoph Adams, as we now have more drivers as Rinaldo Gremiger trying to get up into what would have been 10th position, but drops down a place into 11th. As Daniel Yildiz now up into 10th place. Bart Koeman just got past Rinaldo Gremiger, as did Konrad Bayer, and now Christoph Adams is going to have to fight for this one. It's not going to be easy, but it depends on how the drivers behind start working together. And you try saying that to drivers from rival teams, the first thing that you're probably they're gonna go, yeah, whatever. And the first thing when the visor comes down, it's sort of like, I'm going out there to win for me. And that is the nature of being a racing driver. You have to have that motivation, that selfishness, that it's only about you. But karting shows 2 different sides of the personality coin, the joviality and the ambience in the paddock. But then on the track, we do go racing very, very hard indeed. And there I did see that the 5:09 of Sebastian Rumpelhardt was trying to get past Tom Dessert, but Bruno Dos Santos from France and also Rudy Champion trying to slingshot past the German into turns 1 and 2. Dos Santos gets past, Champion not able to get through, but then Rumpelhardt goes up the inside and clatters into the side of Dessert, who drops 2 places. Champion now up into there, as well as Karl Klebert from Belgium. And Champion and Rumpelhardt now battling away for the position. Rumpelhardt trying to get towards the inside as Champion runs a little bit wide. Oh my goodness, nice move there. Was that Karl Klebert doing a trademark tobacco move up the inside of Sebastian Rumpelhardt? I think that was. And now he's going to try and close down onto Rudy Champion. So Karl Klebert, he's known in B&L karting series circles. He was originally known as the fastest baker in Flanders, but that was quickly changed when he went to Sarno for the grand finals last year along with Christophe Adams and represented Team Belgium. Now, second position, really getting heated as now Tom Dessert is right up the back bumper of Michael Becker as Slavomir Muransky now back into second position. 6 minutes and 50 on the clock to go, plus an additional lap. But now Christophe Adams again has just been able to get away, and he's now up the road by about 7/10 of a second as we are now on to lap number 4 of this race. Christophe Adams is making sure that he does exactly what he needs to do to stay out of trouble, keep his nose clean, and make sure that he stays ahead of everybody. But Tom Dessert wanting to move forward, wanting not to settle for a 4th place finish. So the running order at the moment as it stands, Christophe Adams leads by 7.5 of a second ahead of Slavomir Muransky. Michael Becker rounds out the top 3. Tom Dessert in 4th. Rudy Champion in 5th. Karl Klebert, Sebastian Rumpelhardt, and now Thomas Schumacher up into 8th place, having got past Bruno Dos Santos. Tanju Yildiz, Reynaldo Kremiger, Bart Koeman, Konrad Bayer, and Jonathan De Brouwer round out the 14, still circulating. Temperature now, I cannot believe I'm saying this, and we are literally just gone 12 minutes past 6 in the evening here at Karting Genk, and it is still I'm not going to say a peachy 36 degrees Celsius. I'm going to say it's been a bit more of an abrasive 36 degrees Celsius. Close to half time on the ticker as it counts down. Christophe Adams still leading, but I sense something a bit different about this one, because Slavomir Muransky has just gone over 4.7 of a second quicker than Christophe Adams. In the meantime, Rudy Champion, who's down in 5th place, has just put in the fastest lap of anybody, a 55.353. Becker is very much in this. Don't count out Tom Dessert, whatever you do. But Muransky now wants to upset the success rate, which is pole position, 2 race victories so far. So that's 100% to Christophe Adams. But Slavomir Muransky is thinking otherwise. He wants to get himself as best a position as he can. It's not been easy for the Polish driver. Now, there was a little bit of a story that 46 team lost a lot of equipment in a fire, and that affected people, including Slavomir Muransky. But nevertheless, the spirit of the Polish resolve and solidarity is so much. It is great to see Slavomir competing in person at the track. A wonderful character, a soft-spoken individual. His English isn't the greatest, but I always see him come alive on the racetrack. You can see that glint in his eye, that sparkle, that joie de vivre. And that is where you see a driver, might be the quietest individual you might see in the paddock, but they always say that the quiet ones are the ones that really can bring the most trouble. And Muransky has proven that. 3.5 minutes still to go. Gap between Adams and Muransky was 0.28 of a second. It's now 1.88 of a second. Becker is within striking distance. He's half a second off of Adams. Tom Dessert is still waiting and He's not quite languishing in 4th position. Oh, no, no, no. Far from it. He is just waiting, and a good strategic driver will look at a situation and read it as they see it. And what that can mean is that a driver might hold a little something in reserve. But obviously with hotter temperatures, you've then got to strategize. You've then got to think of, how can I make this work for me? What's going to be my best strategy call? Do I go all out? Do I really expend all that energy before tomorrow? Or do I really want to exercise some damage limitation, not push myself too hard, but still get a good result at the end of the day? And that's probably what Tom Dessert is thinking right now, because after qualifying he was 5th, and that was the qualifying grid set in stone for all 3 heats. But then it's a completely different proposition when it comes to the intermediate classification after the races have been completed. All event sessions that have been called today are provisional. There have been some that have already been ratified and also confirmed as official results, courtesy of race control, race direction and the stewarding panel, with the RACB being the local ASN. As Christoph Adams, now I think Moransky, he'll be looking at that clock. He will be looking at that clock. The thing is, the peripheral vision is a key tool in a driver's arsenal here. And when you look at how quickly Moransky, I think he saw the 1:40 on the board, and he's just gone, I've got this in the, I've got this, plus an additional lap still to go. And I can still make this work. I think I've got the opportunity. I want to get a win. I want to go into tomorrow with some motivation, some confidence, and to go for it when it needs to happen the most. You know, the intermediate classification is one step that you need to take forward. But then it's on finals day where it really, really does count, because it's a win, it's 25 points. We have points all the way down to 15th position, obviously, which means that pretty much every driver, if they don't DNF, will get points. Now Moransky sees 43 seconds on the clock to go, and he's getting closer. Adams knows it. Adams is he's not one of those violets that shrink away. No, no, no. He knows how to race. He's raced across the globe. He's the most decorated participant in the Rotax Max Challenge Grand Finals, 14 as of last year in 2019 at Sarno. Moransky has also represented Poland at the Grand Finals in his own right. So the timer now ticks away. We will get the final lap board around, and this could be the sign that Slavomir Moransky needs to see, right, red mist, let's go for it. But it depends. And he's not close enough. Last lap board of the day goes to Christoph Adams. Gap now between him and Moransky just over 2.5 tenths of a second. Michael Becker is dropping a little bit further back. I think he just knows that he's going to have a good position on the grid for tomorrow. Tom Dessert might want to get a top 3. As now they come down the back straight away, and Christoph Adams has just pulled away from Slavomir Moransky. Moransky's powerless to stop anything, stop that in any way, shape or form. But now the final few competitors make their way down the back straight away. As it looks like Konrad Bayer is now ahead of both Reinaldo Kremiger and Daniel Yildiz, who rounds out the 14 drivers. Round the final corner, it has been 3 from 3 plus a pole position for Christoph Adams, the 555 from Belgium, finishing ahead of Slavomir Moransky. Michael Becker in 3rd. Tom Dessert has a pretty good event. He has a pretty good race, starting 5th, finishing in 4th. Rudy Champion finishes in 5th place, rounding out the top 5. Karl Klebort in 6th place, ahead of Sebastian Rumpelhardt and Thomas Schumacher from Germany, who round out the top 8 places. Bruno Dos Santos takes 9th place, ahead of Bart Koolman. Jonathan de Brouwer. Konrad Bayer takes home a 12th place finish. Reinaldo Kremiger and Daniel Yildiz from Switzerland and Germany, respectively, round out the order. So DD2 Masters closes the action on qualifying heats day as we go into battle for 2 finals as of tomorrow morning.